We had to say goodbye to our Yorkshire Terrier, Rose, this week. So I've been a little bit quieter than normal. And my Facebook is giving me problems, so this is not a live, but I'll get it up on the site as soon as I can. But I wanted to talk about the lessons we learned from having Rose in our lives. So Rose was rescued from a puppy mill in Missouri. Those all got shut down, and the rescue groups went in and took all of the dogs from the shelters, or to the shelters rather. And Rose is one of the lucky ones. We met her kind of randomly at a farmer's market here, and just fell in love with her. She was a tiny, sweet little thing. But when we first got her, she was very, very emotionally shut down. Just couldn't really kind of be engaged in her world. And every time we approached her, did anything at all to her, she would just freeze. She wouldn't try to run away. She wouldn't try to struggle. She would just completely freeze up. And at first, I was pretty worried. I wondered if we had maybe taken on a little bit more than we could handle. But with time and with some patience from us and a lot of love, she did kind of come around and really begin to grow into who she really fully was. And because her early years were in that puppy mill, she was never going to be a normal dog, but she truly became herself. And she did all of these very strange things that normal dogs don't do. One of my favorite memories of her is we were walking once and someone had thrown a piece of orange peel onto the ground, and she was very excited. She grabbed it and picked it up and carried it the entire walk. And then when we got home, she settled down to eat it. I, of course, called the vet, feeling really anxious about this, and they said it wasn't going to do her any long-term harm. We should just, make sure she didn't eat a whole lot of orange peel. But it continued throughout her life to be one of her favorite treats, which is a very strange thing. But she just really enjoyed them. She also enjoyed things like cardboard and the thick bond subscription cards for magazines. And she had other funny little quirks like that. She didn't like the wind and would turn around and kind of frown at it on walks and things. And the main thing here, I think, is that we don't have to live up to anyone else's standards. Rose wasn't a normal dog, and we loved that about her. We enjoyed those quirky things, and it just always kind of made me laugh a little bit. I would peel a clementine and give her a little teeny bit of the skin, and just made her so happy. Try that with any other dog, and they're not going to think that that's a good idea, giving them sort of a mean joke. But Rose loved it. And so the lesson I really take to heart in having her in our lives is that we just get to be ourselves. And some of us have some emotional damage from things that happen in our lives. And some of us are just kind of quirky people, not through damage, just because of who we are. But I would really encourage you to embrace that quirky, to be who you are really fully and really truly, because there's a kind of beauty in that as well. And we actually got our other dog, Lily, in part to see if we could kind of teach Rose how to be a regular dog. It didn't work. And so don't feel like you need to live up to anyone else's standard. Be who you are, embrace who you are, enjoy it. Eat your orange peels if that's who you are. It's not a bad thing to be unique, to be quirky, just to be yourself. And so I really want us all to kind of take on some of those lessons of Rose so that we can all learn to be a little bit more who we truly are and a little bit more authentic. So I hope you all have a good week, and I will see you here next week.